Hi, YouTube. Regina here. So, monthly budget time. Just to go over this. So, we are trying to see if we could live on my husband's pension income and the money we have coming in from a rental that we still have the renters in the property. So, as a reminder, my salary is not going into the equation. So there are certain things that are not being deducted from this. And that would be like commuting to work because that comes directly from my salary. That would mean charity because that comes from my salary as well. And I think little odds and things that come from my salary, like my contributions to retirement and my long term care insurance and the different insurances that I carry that are covered through my employer. Okay, so last month we had a total of 38.90, 38 in income because we got some money back, and that included my husband's pension, that included the rental income, and some refunds we got like from Norwegian. And so we actually had a surplus at the end of the month of 383. So that ended up being very good for the month. Okay, so for February, let's just go into salary. So we have the salary. So my husband's pension ended up going back to its normal rate. So it was a little bit less for January, and now in February it's back to 5312, and that was because of insurances that hadn't come out when he started his retirement ended up coming out in one sum in January once they finally hit it, and now it's the regular amount that they're taking out. So my husband's pension is 5312.27 a month, so that's the pension, and this is the income side. And then he received a welfare, I don't know, some kind of refund from the pension after we paid. He pays some of the insurance that we pay, and that refund came in February, and that was 450. And then our rental property rented for 21.90 a month, but since the renter passed away and the adult children are living in there, they're young. We reduced the amount of the rent to what a two-bedroom would cost, and so that is, and we're not really making money, but it's covering our bills. So until they figure out what they're going to do, so that's the rental income. So altogether, that is seven 7,562.37. So that's the amount of money we have to go on. We also got a little refund of $3 for a Peacock and $4.90 for a Tax Act. Usually, when I use my specific credit cards, they give you those refunds. So this is Tax Act, and this is um, Peacock. I guess CBS. No, is that NBC? So we pay $7.99. They give us $3 back. So that's why the total amount, I believe, is the 7,562.37. Anyway, altogether, salaries and savings, that's where we're at as far as those two together. And I think together that just brings us up a little bit more. That probably brings us up to 70, 27, 5. Okay. So as far as our bills that we can't get rid of, so we have, just as a reminder, we have a mortgage on one property, and then we have condo and association fees. So here in Brooklyn, our place is all paid off, but that is $980 a month. We can't reduce that. So that's $980 a month and 59 cents. The next bill we have is where one of my relatives stays, and that maintenance on that property, it's our vacation property, and we pay all the bills for that, and we have a relative on that property. So, and that's 521 a month in maintenance. And then we have the maintenance with regard to the rental. So the property has maintenance. That maintenance includes insurance on the property grounds itself, and it includes water, sewer, all those kind of things, and garbage and just cleaning of the ground. So that property is 687.70. And then we have the mortgage on the property, and so that was $1,103. So basically, this is the mortgage, this is the maintenance and the mortgage for the 1,800. So kind of like takes care of itself. So I think we're making like a $10 like difference, but we're not collecting any money with regards to, um, altogether, this is 3,292.39. I think that says, or maybe that says 29. It should probably, that says 29. So that's 3,292 under the properties. This does not include taxes or insurances. Taxes come out quarterly for this property. Taxes are in the maintenance for Brooklyn, and taxes, you'll see that in when we do March. We pay quarterly on that. But taxes and insurance are included in that 1,100. So that 1,800 pretty much covers what the 1,800 we took in. That rental situation is probably going to end soon because I think they're very close to finding another place to move to. And so we will end up having to cover those costs ourselves. And it will probably go up even a little bit more because we'll have to have electric on the property and stuff like that. When it came to gifts this month, I did, we did quite a gifts. Gifts are not charities, gifts are gifts. So the total in gifts this month was 659. These are all kind of things giving money away on YouTube. My nephew, we gave him $500 again to cover his car payment. He lost his job, and this is the last month we're helping. He just got a new job to try to help cover the car payments, and he moved from Texas to live with my brother, and so we were just helping out for a couple of months, helping him pay his car bill. So that is gifts. The next category is I spent quite a bit on my hair this month. My husband got his hair cut. I got my hair cut, colored, and just did a treatment and stuff like that. So, and then I did my nails and a manicure, a pedicure, and so altogether, this is probably a bit pricey. But I generally don't spend this much as far as a treatment. I did a conditioning treatment for my hair, so this is salon, all salons. So that's $613. Generally for my haircut, and maybe I'm going to spend about $200 a month. It was just very expensive because I didn't do anything in January and needed to get stuff done. So as far as eating out is what we would consider takeout. This would be lunches. This would be, just picking up bagels in the morning, coffee. This ended up being eating out because we split it out depending on how it is, and this was a total of 596, 32, I believe, a month. 596. When it comes to oh no, that's actually eating out. Okay, so and that's restaurants. That's everything for the month. When it comes to picking up like bagels in the morning or things we might need around the house like seltzers or anything like that, this would just be called food. My husband's breakfast, if he picks up butter, stuff like that, that may not fall in the grocery budget. I say, where's grocery? Oh, grocery's all the way at the bottom. That the food would be 347.42. We don't really spend a lot in groceries because we don't really we tend not to really go out that much. The next is Spectrum Wi-Fi, Spectrum Internet, in both places. Spectrum as far as all the things we have on two of the properties. So this would be our vacation rental, and this would be here. We cover the bills in the phone for three people. So this would be a total of $334. And I have to have a specific kind of cable for high speed internet wherever I go, that I'm covered. My employer does not pay for me to work from home, so that's something that I have to do. And we still have basic cable as well. Plus, I always pay extra on this bill. I don't even know what my bill is. I just end up paying a bit extra so it's covered, and so that I have a buffer when I stop working. I could probably take quite a bit of time off from paying the bill. I just pay a lump sum of like 260, and I think maybe it's about 200. Okay, next is vacation. So we are going on Norwegian soon, and we just had the final fees to pay. We paid for the whole trip itself, but as far as when you check in online, I think I ended up buying internet and I think it was $219 for the internet. So this is vacation. I know it's pretty pricey. They get you, but it was $100 off in comparison to what we would have paid had we done it on the boat. And yeah, it's just nice to be able to get YouTube when I'm on the boat if I want to watch something, or just stream or watch a movie at night or something. They don't have anything on the TVs. So the next thing is electric. So we pay electric in several here and in our vacation property. So the electric is 205, between 205, 42, and this would be in St. Pete's and also here in Brooklyn. I think it's a lot less here in Brooklyn as well, but I tend to pay a specific amount. And I think here I just paid $100. And then I think one of them, it says 20. I don't know why it says 20. And then the other comes out, that would be Duke Energy in Florida, and that is 85.52. The next category would be groceries, and these are just like nickel and dime stuff. Like, I don't think our biggest grocery bill that we had was $46, but generally it's like going to pick up, something like eggs, because sometimes I'll make sandwiches at home. And our groceries for the month of February were $205. And I know a lot of people spend a lot more than that on groceries. We tend to spend our money more on eating out and just going to pick food up. So the grocery budget, we don't tend to spend as much. So overall, when you're adding this to that, it's like 800 for two people. And when it comes to food, I'm sorry, the food and the grocery, and then the going out when we go out. That's just our entertainment budget as well. So we do all things. So between all three of them, we're probably at, 11 or $1,200. And as a reminder, we went all out this month because in January I did a no spend. So February was a bit more. The next big category would be annual fees. I think there were annual fees related to some, like the JetBlue card I have, which collects miles, that I use miles to go back and forth when we do travel. And I think a Barclays card or something like that. So that was 198. And then next category is laundry. We send laundry out. We don't do our laundry ourselves. We don't have a washer and dryer here, and so that was $116. We did have our nieces and nephews stay with us, and so there was more of like just washing everything in the second bedroom after they had left as well. So laundry is kind of high, seems kind of high this month, but again, that's with tips and everything going out to be laundered for us. Okay, so the next thing would be tax act. So I did the taxes for us. We're going to get a refund. I always do the taxes. I'm a math nerd, so I like doing those kind of things. And that was $97 to do our taxes. It might be 97, 96. The next category was pharmacy. Um, I ended up having like they cut me, removed a little bit piece of my skin, and so I'm a lot of band-aids and stuff like that. And I think I had to get some antibiotic cream or something. Anyway, that's probably too much information. But pharmacy, typically we don't really spend that much on pharmacy, and that was $85 this month, 48. Hopefully that will go down to just some band-aids next month. The next is toiletry. My husband picks all this stuff up. And toiletry ends up being, oh yeah, I have to hold this up higher, $77.25. The next is communications. This would probably be cell phones, and that would be $61. This is communication. The next is health is 57.37. That could just be like, I wonder what my husband might have picked something up for his mom. This is health, or it could have been vitamins too. He probably went to vitamins. The next is the gym. The gym is $49. Subscription, oh, the car, $23 in gas. So, gym. Mine I pay yearly subscriptions. And then supplies. This is probably paper towels and stuff like that. And then I think I pay one technology fee of $7.84. So supplies and technology. So that brings us to a total for the month as far as expenses are concerned. Let me just close that down. So we had the total of income for I guess 570. Yeah, that's 570.27. And then expenses were 7,279.78 for a balance of 290.55. Now, none of this includes, so 290.55, we were positive for the month, which is okay. I mean, we are still doing okay. We did decent amount in, I like seeing that our gifts are one of the higher categories. There were things on here that you probably, just like every month, that is not the typical month. And those things are like, you know, the fees on the credit cards. The amount we spend on vacation is typically more than that a month. So that's probably, yeah, if you multiply that by 12, we definitely spend more than that on vacations. The food budget was probably a little bit high. The maintenance on the property ended up going up. This number I think was 1040 last month, and now it's 1103 because um, the escrow amount that they want from us is a little bit more. The rent came down from what we made in January because again we gave them the discount for this month and next month until they finally move out, and then we're going to see what happens with the rental. And then, but at the end of the day, that 290 isn't so great because, like for instance, next month we have the taxes. So I paid the taxes yesterday, March 1st, and that's pretty. Um, I think it was $920. So you'll see that in next month's budget as far as paying the taxes. So, but next month we won't have to pay the car payment for my nephew. And then next month, probably, hopefully, get the tax refunds that we're going to get back as well. And I put extra, I know it's probably not the best thing to do, but I wasn't sure how my husband's pension was going to be taxed or the money that he got from his sick time. And so I paid extra in taxes this year quarterly just to ensure. And I overdid it a bit because I wasn't sure what his amount would be. And I'd rather get a little back than to pay. And I think we're going to get like 1,700 back from federal and a bit more from state because the state isn't taxing us on his pension. So I overpaid more than I should have as far as the state is concerned. Hopefully, if I did our taxes right. But yeah, so that's how we did this month. 75.70 in income and 72.79 in expenses, whereas last month we had 83.90 in income and 8,000 in expenses because we had the insurance come out for this property and the umbrella policy. The month of March is going to be a big month for us because we pay car insurance twice a year. And we have really thorough car insurance, God forbid, in the event that something happens. And that comes out also in the month of March. So March is going to be an interesting one. But March will probably go down in our food budget because we're going to be on vacation for a bit and food is completely covered as far as being on vacation. So I think it's like, when you're on the cruise, you're not really buying food. And that is completely paid for. So when we go on it, at the end of the week. So we'll be going to places. And then we have some credits as far as on Norwegian. So if we do things on the boat itself, we won't really have to pay for it as much. And we're not big drinkers, but I might bring a bottle of wine on the boat. They allow you to bring two. And I'm to try to keep our costs down. And yeah, so that's how we did this month. Not as good as probably that we could have, but then again, keep in mind my entire salary is not included in here. But then again, when I do retire next year, I'm not going to be getting a salary, and the idea was to try to see how much we needed to bridge the distance between what we really want to be spending living our everyday lives, doing what we want to be doing, traveling around a bit, enjoying ourselves, and um, when we're retired. Now that said, we both are not really big. We don't buy things, so when it comes to you don't see anything on here as far as buying stuff, because again, when it comes to things that we have, it's like vitamins were bought on here this month, and we replenish, and so yeah, I spent quite a bit on my hair this month, so that probably I won't have a hair budget next month, and I did my nails and stuff like that for the trip. So there we go. That's our budget for the month. I hope this is interesting, and thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye, everybody.